Hi there! In this Prezi video, I'm excited to talk with you about how to build a happier and more productive hybrid workforce. Now, in case we haven't virtually met, my name is Mandy Fransz and I am the owner and founder of Make the Leap Digital, a boutique consulting agency helping purpose-driven businesses to unlock the power of LinkedIn and remote work. Now, as a LinkedIn expert and remote work advocate, I truly believe that everyone deserves to have the freedom and flexibility to work from wherever they feel the happiest and most productive. Now, back in February 2020, it was estimated that 19.5 million people would be switching to remote work. Now, according to a We Work Remotely 2021 report, employers will have more than 36 million employees working remotely by 2025. So this number has almost doubled in the past year. So this clearly shows that the way we work is changing, and companies, including Deloitte, are rapidly embracing the hybrid remote work environment and allow employees to choose when, where, and how they work in the future. But managing a hybrid workforce can be challenging. So in this video, you'll learn about my top 3 tips to build a happier and more productive workforce, especially in a hybrid environment, meaning both in office and remote employees. So let's get started with tip number 1, which is to design a work schedule. So especially in a hybrid team environment where employees most likely work across different time zones and different places, including a home office, a co-working space, or a cafe, it is important to design a work schedule that works for both yourself and the wider team and organization. So here's a quick example. You can use tools like Google Calendar, a productivity planner, or just a piece of paper for accountability. Now, I highly recommend using time blocking to set clear boundaries for both yourself and the wider team and to manage expectations. Think about setting aside time for self-care or maybe a morning routine to kickstart the day, and I highly recommend you to batch your work to increase productivity. Also, don't forget to plan any holidays ahead and perhaps block some time for focus hours. Now, you also might want to introduce no meeting days to increase productivity and reduce Zoom fatigue. Which brings me to the next tip, which is to establish clear communication guidelines. So having clear communication guidelines is crucial to build a happier and more productive workplace, especially when part of the team works inside the office while others are working remotely. So let's have a look at the difference between synchronous versus asynchronous communication. Synchronous communication requires an immediate response as it is based on a direct conversation, meaning by phone, a face-to-face meeting, or a video call. Now, in a hybrid environment, this type of communication should be kept to a minimum as it is less inclusive, it disrupts efficiency, and decreases transparency across the team. Now, on the other hand, asynchronous communication does not require an immediate response, as it is based on reading and writing. Think about Slack, email, or your company project management tool. Now, especially in a hybrid workplace, it is best practice to default to asynchronous communication, as it is more inclusive, improves efficiency, and increases transparency amongst the team and the wider organization. As an example, you could think about daily stand-up meetings with employees working across different time zones. I highly want to encourage you, for the next time you schedule a synchronous meeting, ask yourself, can this be done asynchronously? And if not, then let's have a look at tip number 3, which is to focus on more engaging meetings. So in case you do schedule a synchronous meeting, think about how you can make it as effective and engaging as possible. So before each meeting, send a calendar invite and an agenda to manage expectations and make sure that everybody is on the same page. Then during the meeting, encourage everyone to turn on their video to build a personal connection and use tools such as Prezi Video to increase engagement. Also, think about kicking off with a fun virtual icebreaker or ending the meeting with a fun team building activity to increase a sense of belonging and strengthen employee morale. All right, those were my 3 tips. A quick recap of the tips that we covered to build a happier and a more productive workforce in a hybrid environment. Number 1 is to create a work schedule to manage expectations and set clear boundaries for both yourself and the wider team or organization. Number 2 is to establish clear communication guidelines to increase productivity and avoid Zoom fatigue. And last but not least, have more engaging remote meetings to increase a sense of belonging and strengthen employee morale. All right, that's it for today. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or visit my website to learn more. I'm curious to hear about your experience in a hybrid environment.